Hi, I'm Richard Redmond. This episode of Mrs. Cordell's Curtain Lecture is titled The Skylarks. Old Job Cordell, at the request of one of his saloon buddies, Harry Prettyman, has gone and joined the Skylarks, which is a men's drinking club in one of the local saloons. Now, the club is highly esteemed for the contribution they make to the consumption of alcohol in their town. This does not sit well with Mrs. Cordell, who again berates old Job with another one of her tongue-wagging lectures for his misadventures. Gentlemen, I'd like to call to order this meeting. We have important business to attend to tonight. I, Harry Prettyman, would like to nominate Job Cordell as a member to the esteemed club of the Skylarks. Now, he's been a fine member of this establishment for many months, and you all know Job very well. And I just figured it's about time that we let him into our club, the Skylarks. So, what say you? Aye or nay?
I, Tom Jacqueline, say aye to accept Job into the club. I second that nomination proudly. Welcome, Job. Welcome to the club.
I, Frank Califano, want to welcome you to this club because you look like a good drinking man. You had a few already tonight. But I want to give you a warm introduction and salute, as we say in the tongue back in the day. Yeah. Salute. Good to see you here, Job.
Job, welcome to the Skylarks. A gentleman, a toast to one of the finest men I know. May your life be full of friends, love, and liquor.
Hey, Job, salute.
I second that, Job.
And now a speech from Job. Job, please, stand up and say a few words to the gentleman.
Well,
come on now. All new members must have...
Let's hear it.
Steady.
Gentlemen, members of the Skylarks, Harry, Tom, Frank, thank you for accepting me into your membership. And I will try, I will endeavor to do my best to match you all drink for drink.
Now, let's toast to Job, one of the finest men I know. Gentlemen, a toast.
Hey.
I will second that to Job. A long life to you.
Hey, yes,
and
Job.
Welcome to the Skylarks.
Salute, Job. Drink up. Drink hot. You've been drinking
Top
all
of the morning to you, laddie. Top of the morning.
Enjoy it.
So, Job, now that you're a new member of the Skylarks, we would like to...
Is that midnight?
Sure, why not?
Well,
Yeah.
Is that midnight?
As you can stay till 1 a.m.
Gentlemen, I have to be going. The wife will be furious.
Where you going?
Job, don't let her get to you. You're entitled to a night out.
Come on, man.
This is a special night, Job.
You don't know my wife.
Remember here. What's with you?
Well, Job, if you have to go, you have to go.
I must be
We're
going,
looking
gentlemen.
forward to seeing you.
I would love to
week.
stay, but I must be going.
One more time.
Thank you.
Safe
another
trip,
drink.
Yeah,
Job.
good
Safe
drink.
trip.
Come on, down the
One more for the road.
Down the road. All right,
man.
okay. Good luck.
Good night, Job.
Yeah.
Good night, Job.
Yeah, see you, Job.
To Job.
Good luck, Job.
Safe trip home, laddie. Safe trip home.
Safe trip to the missus. He's a fine man. There goes a hen-pecked husband, huh?
Yeah.
God bless him.
Guy has to go home and he's like a pumpkin, on Halloween, going home.
His stagecoach turns into a pumpkin. Aye, that's true. Here's to Job, anyway.
Okay. I, Tom Joskins, would like to make a toast to Job.
I'll go along with that.
Will you go along with that, Frank?
Hey, yeah. Can I get a
Hey,
drink?
Patty, will you go along
Can I
with
get
that?
a drink first?
Oh, yeah, yes.
All right, first. All right. Hey, okay.
Is that's wobbly? No,
Steady
it's
as
the
you
table.
go. Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
May Job be a long time member of the Skylarks. A finer club than never was.
To Job.
To
Good
Joe.
Joe.
To
And
Joe.
let's hope that his wife lets him come back next week.
May his life be full of love, friends, and liquor.
Here.
Hey, we ain't drinking it.
Bottoms up. Bottoms up.
Yes, I hear you. What a fine time to be coming home. Well, if a woman isn't better in her grave than to be married, that is, if she can be married to a decent man.
I'm tired, honey. Can't I go to sleep? Tell me in the morning.
No, I don't care if you are tired. I shan't let you go to sleep, and I won't say what I have to say in the morning. I'll say it now. It's all very well for you to come home at what time you like. It's now 12:30, and I'm expected to hold my tongue and let you go to sleep. What next, I wonder? A woman had better be sold for a slave at once.
Well, tonight was special. I joined the Skylarks, a men's club.
And so you've gone and joined a club. The Skylarks, indeed. A pretty Skylark you'll make of yourself. But I won't stay and be ruined by you. No, I'm determined on that. I'll go and take the dear children, and you may get what you like, who you like, to keep your house. That is, as long as you have a house to keep, and that won't be long. I don't know how any decent man can go and spend his nights in a tavern.
I go there for companionship, for rational conversation.
Oh, yes, Mr. Caudle. I dare say you go for rational conversation. I should like to know how many of you would care for what you call rational conversation, if you had it without your filthy brandy and water and your filthy tobacco smoke. I'm sure the last time you came home, I had the headache for a week. But I know who it is that's taking you to destruction. It's that brute Prettyman. He has broken his own poor wife's heart, and now he wants to. But don't you think it, Mr. Caudle. I'll not have my peace of mind destroyed by the best man that ever trod.
Well, he's my friend. I don't want to appear.
Oh, yes. I know you don't care, so long as you can appear well to all the world. But the world little thinks how you behave to me. It shall know it, though. That I'm determined. How any man can leave his own happy fireside to go and sit and smoke and drink and talk with people who wouldn't one of 'em lift a finger to save him from hanging. How any man can leave his wife, and a good wife, too, though I say it for a parcel of pot companions. Oh, it's disgraceful, Mr. Caudle. It's unfeeling. No man who had the least love for his wife could do it. And I suppose this to be the case every Saturday? But I know what I'll do.
You're a good wife. You understand. A man needs his time. Can we go to sleep now? I'm tired.
It's no use, Mr. Caudle, your calling me a good creature. I'm not such a fool as to be coaxed in that way. And no, if you want to go to sleep, you should come home in Christian time, not at 12:30. There was a time when you were as regular at your fireside as the kettle. That was when you were a decent man and didn't go amongst heaven knows who, drinking and smoking and making what you think your jokes. I never heard any good come to a man who cared about jokes. No respectable tradesman does. But I know what I'll do. I'll scare away your Skylarks. The pub serves liquor after 12 on a Saturday. I'll write to the magistrates and have the license taken away.
Now, you're being a foolish woman.
Yes, you may call me a foolish woman. But no, Mr. Caudle, no, it's you who are the foolish man. Or worse than a foolish man, you're a wicked one. If you were to die tomorrow, and people who go to public houses do all they can to shorten their lives, I should like to know who would write upon your tombstone. A tender husband and an affectionate father? I'd have no such falsehoods told of you. I can assure you that. Going and spending your money.
I only spent 50 cents.
Nonsense. Don't tell me only 50 cents. If you were 10 times to swear it, I wouldn't believe that you only spent 50 cents on a Saturday. You can't be all those hours and only spend 50 cents. I know better. I'm not quite a fool, Mr. Caudle. A great deal you could have for 50 cents. And all the club married men and fathers of families. The more shame for them. Skylarks indeed. They should call themselves vultures, for they can only do as they do by eating up their innocent wives and children. 50 cents a week. And if it was only that, do you know what 50 cents come to in a year? Do you ever think of that and see the gowns I wear? I'm sure I can't, out of the house money, buy myself a pincushion, though I've wanted one these 6 months. No, not so much as a ball of cotton. But what do you care so you can get your brandy and water? There's the girls, too, the things they want. They're never dressed like other people's children. But it's all the same to their father. Oh, yes, so he can go with his Skylarks. They may wear sackcloth for pinafores and packthread for garters. You'd better not let that Mr. Prettyman come here, that's all. Or rather, you'd better bring him here once. Yes, I should like to see him. He wouldn't forget it. A man who, I may say, lives and moves only in a spittoon. A man who has a pipe in his mouth, as constant as his front teeth. A sort of tavern king with a lot of fools like you to laugh at what he thinks his jokes and give him consequence.
Why don't we go to sleep? It's late.
No, Mr. Caudle, no. It's no use your telling me to go to sleep, for I won't. Go to sleep indeed. I'm sure it's almost time to get up. I hardly know what's the use of going to bed at all now. The Skylarks indeed. A pretty name you'll get in the neighborhood, and in a very little time a nice face you'll have. Your nose is getting redder already, and you've just one of the noses that liquor always flies to.
My nose isn't red.
You don't see it's red? No, I dare say not, but I see it. I see a great many things you don't, and so you'll go on. In a little time with your brandy and water.
Well, I only had 2 small glasses.
Don't tell me that you only take 2 small glasses. I know what men's 2 small glasses are. In a little time, you'll have a face all over as if it were made of red currant jam. And I should like to know what's to endure you then. I won't, and so don't think it. Don't come to me. Nice habits men learn at clubs. There's Joskins. He was a decent creature once. And now I'm told he has more than once boxed his wife's ears. He's a Skylark, too. And I suppose someday you'll be trying to box my ears.
I wouldn't box your ears.
Don't attempt it, Mr. Caudle. I say don't attempt it. Yes, it's all very well for you to say you wouldn't, but I only say again, don't attempt it. You'd rue it till the day of your death, Mr. Caudle. Going and sitting for 4 hours at a tavern. What men, unless they had their wives with them, can find to talk about, I can't think. No good, of course. 50 cents a week and drinking brandy and water enough to swim a boat, and smoking like the funnel of a steamship. And I can't afford myself so much as a piece of tape. It's brutal, Mr. Caudle. It's very, very brutal. I'm going to bed. You can sleep here if you wish.
Oh, thank heaven. At last she's gone to bed.
The next time you happen to be in a cemetery, visiting that is, not residing, stop and listen. Listen to the wind, to the quietness. If you concentrate hard enough, you might hear voices in the wind, voices of the deceased, telling of their adventures in life.
Whoso thou be that passeth by, where these corpses entombed lie, understand what I shall say, as at this time speak I may. Such as thou art, sometime was I, such as I am, such shalt thou be.
I belonged to the church and the party of prohibition. The villagers thought I had died of eating watermelon. In truth, I had cirrhosis of the liver. For every noon for 30 years, I slipped behind the prescription partition in Trainer's drugstore and poured a generous drink from the bottle marked Spiritus Frumenti.
I inherited 40 acres from my father. And by working my wife, my 2 sons and 2 daughters from dawn to dusk, I acquired 1,000 acres. But not content, wishing to own 2,000 acres, I bustled through the years with plow and axe, toiling, denying myself, my wife, my sons, my daughters. Squire Higby wrongs me to say that I died from smoking Red Eagle cigars, eating hot pie, and gulping coffee during the scorching hours of harvest time brought me here ere I had reached my 60th year.
Remember me as you passed by, as you are now, so once was I. As I am now, so you must be. Prepare for death and follow me.
Next, a scene from the play The Lucky One, which is a story of antagonism between 2 brothers. Gerald, who stands in the sun, and Bob, who stands in Gerald's shadow. When Bob finds himself in serious legal trouble, he turns to Gerald for rescue. When Gerald fails to come through, years of simmering resentment boil over in a confrontation that is stirring as it is surprising.
You had a sense of humor once, Bob. I don't know what's happened to it lately. Don't you think it's rather funny to hate a person steadily for 15 years judge all his acts as though you'd hardly judge those of your bitterest enemy, and yet the first time you were in trouble, to expect him to throw everything on one side and rush to your help, and then to feel bitterly ill-used if he doesn't? That's been rather like you all through, Bob. You were always the one who had to be helped. You were always the one who was allowed to have the grievance. Still, that doesn't make it any better for me if I could have helped you and didn't. However, I'm quite certain that I couldn't have helped you then. Well, let's take the other accusation, that I stole Pamela from you. I've only got two things to say to that. First, that Pamela was not engaged to you and was perfectly free to choose between us. Secondly, that you never told me, and I hadn't the slightest idea that you were the least bit fond of her. Indeed, I don't believe you realized it yourself at the time. Besides, you've taken Pamela back since. I think if I were you, I'd keep her out of it. Now, we come to the general charge, which seems to be that I'm better than you at games, that I've got better manners than you, that I'm cleverer than you. In fact, that I'm superior to you in every outward way, and I'm only inferior to you in the moral qualities. Bob, what are these moral qualities in which I am so deficient and you so endowed? You judge me by the qualities I am supposed to have shown to you. Now, what have you shown to me? Have you been generous? Have you been friendly? Have you been sympathetic? No. You have just told me that for 15 years you've hated me and been jealous of me. Things have been rotten for you, I admit. Have you ever tried to make the best of them? You've had disadvantages to fight against. Have you ever fought against them? Never! You've turned every trouble into a grievance and hoarded it up. I said just now I was sick of you. And I am, utterly. You said just now you didn't want my pity. You haven't got it. You've only got my contempt. Oh, it's the use of talking. Goodbye, and good luck.
Next, from Lucian's writings, Dialogues of the Dead, a scene between Menipus and Hermes. Menipus, who lived around the 3rd century BC, was a cynic. In his writings, he discussed serious subjects in a spirit of ridicule and especially delighted in attacking the noble elite. Hermes is an Olympian god who was a trickster who often outwitted other gods for his own satisfaction. Hermes, where are all the beauties? Show me around, I'm a newcomer.
I am busy, Menipus, but look over there to your right, and you will see Hyacinth, Narcissus, Nereus, Achilles, Tyro, Helen, Leda, all the beauties of old.
I can only see bones and bare skulls, and most of them are exactly alike.
Those bones, of which you seem to think so lightly, have been the theme of admiring poets.
Well, show me Helen of Troy. I shall never be able to make her out by myself.
This skull is Helen.
And for this, 1,000 ships were launched, which carried warriors from every part of Greece. Greeks and barbarians were slain and cities made desolate.
Menipus, you did not see the living Helen. Or you would have said with Homer, well might they suffer grievous years of toil who strove for such a prize. We look at withered flowers and what can we call them but unlovely things? Yet, in the hour of their bloom, These unlovely things were things of beauty.
Strange that the Greeks could not realize what it was for which they labored. How short-lived, how soon to fade.
I have no time for moralizing. Choose your spot where you will and lie down. I must go to fetch new dead.
The next scene is between Menipus and Tantalus. Now Tantalus in Greek mythology was a king who, for his crimes, was condemned in Hades to stand in water that receded when he tried to drink from it, and with fruit hanging above that receded when he reached for it. Thus the word to tantalize. And now, Menipus and Tantalus. Tantalus, what are you crying out about, standing at the edge and whining like that?
Oh, Menipus, I thirst, I perish.
What, not enterprise enough to bend down to it or scoop up some in your palm?
It is no use bending down. The water shrinks away as soon as it sees me coming. And if I do scoop it up and get it to my mouth, the outside of my lips is barely moist before it has managed to run through my fingers, and my hand is as dry as ever.
A very odd experience, that. But by the way, why do you want to drink? You have no body, and the part of you that was liable to hunger and thirst is buried in Lydia somewhere. How can you, the spirit, hunger or thirst anymore?
Therein lies my punishment. The soul thirsts as if it were body.
Well, let that pass. As you say, thirst is your punishment. But why do you mind it? Are you afraid of dying for want of drink? I do not know of a second Hades. Can you die to this one and go further?
No, that is quite true. But you see, this is part of the sentence. I must long for drink, though I have no need of it.
There is no meaning in that. There is a draft you need, though. Some neat hellebore is what you want. You're suffering from a converse hydrophobia. You're not afraid of water, but you are of thirst.
I would as lief drink hellebore as anything, if I could but drink.
Never fear, Tantalus. Neither you nor any other ghost will ever do that. It is impossible, you see. Just as well, we have not all got a penal thirst like you, with the water running away from us.
Well, hello there. My, it's been a long, long time. How you doing? I guess that I'm doing fine. It's been so long, and it seems that
was only yesterday. Oh, ain't it funny how time slips away? How's your new love? I hope that he's doing fine. I heard you told him that you'd love him till the end of time. Well, that's the same thing that you told me. It seems like yesterday. Oh, ain't it funny how time slips away? Well, I'll go there. It's been a long, long time. How you doing? I guess that I'm doing fine. It's been so long, and it seems like it was only yesterday. Oh, ain't it funny how time slips away? I'm gonna go now. I guess I'll see you around. But I don't know when I'll be back in town. But remember what I tell you. In time you're gonna pay. Oh, ain't it surprising how time slips away?